So obviously fundamentals are very important, guys. Otherwise, ChatGPT also cannot help you. So for that have joined the training. So I want that from the very day one we should see the ChatGPT, and let's see that how it goes. Okay. Uh, the another thing is that uh, so this is my Excel basically. I'm using I think Excel. Let's go to the file account. You can check the version. So this is what I'm using, 2021. Okay. Now you can use any Excel, doesn't matter, because right now you have to use Excel only. You are not going to use the Power Query. That is a different topic. I mean, if somebody wants to use the Power Query, then there are some specific versions. Okay. So I'm using 2021. Your any version would do, would work for you, whether it is 2010 or 2013, 2016, Office 365, anything, doesn't matter. Okay. So the first thing is, this is your Excel. When you open the Excel, right? If you double click here, this ribbon, we can hide it. See that, right? There is no as such any specific reason for me. I mean, from technically, I mean, this is not going to help me in any sort of creating a formula or troubleshooting, anything. This is just like if I want a full screen, if I want a bigger view, you can do that. Double click on this, anywhere you can click, right? Like this. I mean, this is how it is. Now, these are all called the ribbons, uh, menu options, right? This is all ribbon, basically. These options that you see under every tab. So we call this Microsoft ribbon. Okay. And under every this, the main menu, you have the different features. Like see in the home we have paste, cut, format, painter, color. I'm gonna tell you these things, right? Slowly, gradually, but we will cover all the important things, right? So we have the formulas, we have the data, we have the review, we have the view, and this is the developer tab. This is for VBA, by the way. Okay. So VBA will start after Excel, right? Because some of you have paid me the advance fee. So this is for them, and those who wants to do that, they can also book their seats after the Excel. So now what I'm going to do is, first of all, you go to the chatgpt.com. Okay, everyone, you can log in to the ChatGPT and you can give your Gmail ID there, and absolutely it's I mean the free of cost. You don't have to pay. There are paid plans also, right? But we don't need the paid plan for this. Now, ChatGPT is there, and other companies also have their tools like Google has uh, Gemini. We call it. I think we pronounce it as Gemini, and I haven't worked on it. Uh, but yes, a few days back on my mobile, I don't know. They were promoting or what? I was just like I got the link and I was checking the Gemini and I found it also. I mean, sort of same, right? Uh, then there are some other, obviously, other, these the AI uh, chat GPT sort of, the models. So you don't really have to distract yourself. This is fine. I'm using this. I'm learning a lot from this, and I'm very happy with this. Super happy. Okay. So we're going to simply say that I want to learn Excel. I want to learn Excel from basic to advanced. Okay. Please guide me. And then I want to start with the basics first. Okay, press enter, and now let's see that. That's great decision. Given your teaching background, well, because ChatGPT knows me. So, anyways, so see this now. So I'm doing this for you, not for myself. Remember this, right? Because you have to use the ChatGPT, not for just Excel, but for other things also. So why not to become an expert, right? See, it tells you everything. It is such a powerful, phenomenal tool. Excel learning roadmap. See, it's telling the roadmap also. Okay, so level 1, basics, very nice. Level 2, core Excel skills. Level 3, intermediate Excel. Level 4, advanced Excel. Level 5, real world projects. Yeah, so see, it has divided into the Excel into 5 projects. Okay, and as I can see here, this is all I actually also cover. So this is amazing. Excel basics. What is Excel? Where it is used? Excel interface, workbook, worksheet. So what is a workbook? What is a worksheet? What are the rows, columns, cells, cell address, data types, basic data entry technique, select cell, row, column, save as. You see, these are all the options that we are any which ways we are going to cover. Okay. After that, we will start with the function. So see what it is saying. There are important formulas, sum, average, count, min, max. Okay, fine. Conditional formatting, working with the table, basic charts, relative and absolute reference. Then we have another level where we will discuss H lookup, X lookup, if and or left, right? So I cover all these things, right? Date and time function, data validation, pivot tables, right? And then we have advanced level, pivot tables. Power Query, that's a different course that you can buy from my website because I don't take the classes for the Power Query. Power Pivot, again, it's a very different thing. It's a different topic, but index match, filter sort, unique. So these are all the different new formulas actually. So we'll do that. This is introduction to VBA, which I said. This is another level, coding in Excel. So this we will start after the Excel, which is another course, right? So for that, if you want to enroll, you can. So then we have the dashboard. So yeah, so we'll cover all these things. Okay, so this is how it is. So let's go on step by step. So this is basically your, the thing. Okay, now let me just quickly go and copy this. So we'll keep the notes for us and let's see that. What is Excel? Excel, Excel is a spreadsheet. Excel is called a spreadsheet also, application also, right? Why do we use the Excel? We can store the information, right? You can store the information here. Even if you don't want to do any analysis, you don't want to create a report, right? You want to just keep some information with you. You want to store some information. Let's say you're planning that I'm doing some SIP, right? So what is the SIP in the Jan and what is the SIP in the other months, You can keep that information. This is called storing the information. Or maybe you have some friends from whom you have, you know, taken some money, or maybe you have given, right? You have given the credit to them. So you just want to track those things, isn't it? That is what it says. Store the data, right? Calculate the values. So what if I have my SIP 1000 and for another month, let's say my SIP is 1200 or whatever, right? Can we add them? Yes, we can use. See the plus sign. What if I want to multiply this with 12? I want to see if I keep paying like this for 12 months, what will I have at the end of the year? Isn't it? So you see, this is a star sign, this is a plus sign that I've used. Make no mistake, right? Right? This is add. And I know that you must be knowing this thing. This is to multiply. Same way, if you want to divide something, you can divide like this. This is your, where is it? Yeah, divide, right? So this is how it is. So this is what it says. Calculate the value, right? If anyone, has, I don't know, if you are hearing some noise, please let me know, okay? Don't, just sit. Let me know. Frankly, let me know, okay? So calculate the value, analyze the information. It has to, what if I have to analyze the information? I have to create some graphs. I have to maybe create, for example, see this. Let me quickly show you. analyze the information. Suppose this is my zone: east, east, west, 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 you know, north, north, north. And let's say we have sales. Okay. Now you want to analyze, for example, what are the total sales? What are the total sales coming from this, right? So I'm going to create some report. See, you don't know about it, but don't worry. I'm just trying to prove what the ChatGPT is saying because I'm not going to just read the comments from there. Okay, you should understand. See, you can analyze the report. See how quickly I've created this report, right? Report, right? At the same time, if I want to, let's say for example, see now, I go here and I create some chart. We'll do all these things, don't worry, okay? See that. You can analyze the report. This is going to tell you that which zone is performing better, which is doing the higher sale, the lowest sale, because see, right now these are three. You may have 10, 15 items, products, isn't it? So looking at the graph is very easy. Looking at the graph is very easy when you actually want to see the report, right? Because this is a graphical view, this is a picture, right? So picture is better than this the data view basically, right? Because here I can't really figure it out like who's doing what. But if I start looking at this in the picture, this tells me the entire story, right? So this is what actually this is what it means when it says that analyze the information. You can analyze the things, right? And then create the reports and the dashboards. So this is a piece of a dashboard. Like if I create a dashboard, obviously I will have five, six, seven, eight charts, and also these reports I can create as many as I want. So this is just a glimpse of that, right? So I mean, to analyze the information, to this is all basically you're analyzing the things, isn't it? Right? And of course, then there are some conditional formattings also which we can use. Like suppose if some number is below zero, automatically it should get red. These are all the things. Okay, so I hope it's making a sense, right? Now, what you have to do if you actually want to start with me from the very day one, because initially we will discuss basic things, but as we, you know, uh, uh, keep moving, what will happen? Your level, the level of information, the level of the quality of the training, basically that will switch to the advanced side, right? So you will have more complex situations, the more complex formulas. So you got to be ready for that, right? So what I'm saying, when you're watching the video, you can make your own notes. ChatGPT is already there, of course. That's fine, right? But you can also make your own notes. Okay, you can make your notes that this is what I have uh, learned in this lecture, right? And this file will be given to you. So why not just to create here some summaries, notes, isn't it? And if you want to know more about it, why don't you just go to the ChatGPT and say, what do you mean by analyze information? Though I'm telling you. Okay. So this is all about it. So Excel is not just a simple tool, right? It serves the different purposes. Maybe if I'm a retired person and I just want to keep some data with me, I can. Maybe if I'm running some business, I can again have that data and then I can use some, I can create the reports, I can do the analysis. So Excel is very much in use. Every industry uses it. The best part of Excel is that whether you want to go to the data science or data analytics or I don't know, maybe AI, because these days different domains are opening up, or you are a marketing guy, sales guy, or you are in some oil and refinery, or you are a proper data analyst, programmer. One thing you will always see that people always want to learn Excel. You may not want to learn BI, you may not want to learn Python or VBA because your stream is different. You may be a Java guy, you may be a web developer, isn't it? But you will find everybody wants to learn Excel. They always learn Excel. So this is a wonderful thing. Okay, this is your first step. Till now, if you have any problems, let me know. Workbook versus worksheet. So what it says, well, workbook is your Excel file. See, this is my Excel file, this is day one, right? So how do you create the new file? Well, what you can do is you can go here file, and you can say that, you know, this new, new blank workbook. See, a new workbook is created, right? A new workbook is created. Or you can do one thing, you can say Control N. Let me just write it here. Insert a new workbook. See, Control N. Let me do it. See that? A new workbook is created. There are a lot of ways. You can go to the window, you can again go and type in here MS Excel. You have to install obviously Excel first, right? So you can open the file from there also, right? Now, when the first time when you are opening the Excel, make sure you save the file, very important. Before even you start working on Excel, you should save the file. So what you will do, you will just say, okay, I want to save the file, save. Okay, save the file, save. Then you go to the browse wherever you want to keep this file. Suppose you say I want to keep this in the download folder. So you can just say, type in the name here, and this is always .xlsx. This is the extension of the Excel. Like we all have our surnames, right? Especially in our country, basically surname also tells you what the religion of a person, isn't it? Or maybe like what the caste also of a person, isn't it? So this is like this, signatures, right? I mean, if you see any file on the desktop which has a extension called .xlsx, it means it is a pure Excel. If you see any file which has an extension called XLSM, M stands for macro, it means that that file is not just is not a normal Excel. It has a coding. Somebody has created some macros inside that. Because if you have created some macros, that file cannot be saved under this extension. So right now you don't have to worry. I mean, worry is a wrong word, but we don't need to go into that VBA thing. I'm just telling you that this is the extension. Like MS Word has an extension called .docx. Then PowerPoint has .pptx, isn't it? So we know always, right? MS Access database, if you have heard of this database, it is .accdb. Okay, so this is how you basically save the file. Once you have saved the file title will come here on the top, right? Right now this is book 2. This has no name. This is not a name, right? So this is the thing. Okay, so right now if you see here, this is day one cell referencing, right? And now I'm also noticing one thing. So I will for future videos recordings, I will take care of it. I think the screen that you see, these icons are blinking. So basically you will not be able to see this the day one cell referencing on your screen. Well, it doesn't matter, it's just a file name. Okay, but I'm just telling you. But I'll change the settings. Okay, so this is my Excel file. So you know how to save the file? Control S. When the first time you will save the file, and this is your Excel file extension. And just for information, this is for macro file. Okay, now whenever now I say Control S, file will keep saving, right? Imagine if I have created this file. Now this is a file which has a name called, let me write the name, day one. I'll send you this file. Okay. Now what if I want to create a duplicate copy of this file? Suppose I have saved the file, right? File is saved. Now I do something else. Something, I don't know, right? For now, what if I want to save this file with a different name now? Then I can't say save, because then this file will be saved. But I am saying, give me the option. I want to save this as what? As some another file. So what you will do? You will say save as. Then you will use the save as, right? Because once the file has a name, remember, it's like name changing, right? My name is Ajay, right? When I was born, my father and mother, my parents gave me this name, right? And okay, so one very good example. So this is my name, you all know, right? Now what happened in the 10th, due to my teacher's mistake, she changed my last name to Kumar, right? And by the time I got to know about this, I mean, I really, did not know that using the last name is also, you take proud in your last name. So I went to home and because my class teacher, she called me, I still remember. I think it was eighth class actually, yeah, eighth. So she called me and these are in eighth you have board exams. So she was like, I'm so sorry, I had sent this the name, I because you have to send the list to the CBSE, isn't it? So I think by mistake she has this is what she has done, right? She put my this name as Kumar. So she was asking me, so just go and ask your parents. I mean, what do you want to do? So I asked my parents, and they said it's fine. It's okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really don't remember. But the point is that, and so that name then I, had been using it until I got married. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that this was my name. Now, this was my name. Okay, this was my name. So this name now, until you say that I want to change this name, I want to change this name, right? People will know you from this name only, right? Till the time we are alive, right? So every year, today is now 2026 has started. So your name, people will never ask you, these things that, I mean, if your name is changed or not, because you want to keep that name with you always, right? You are always remembered by your name, isn't it? Now, if let's say, for example, after marriage, like in my case, it happened, right? Then I decided, oh, so my surname is not used, because in our Hindu cultures, what happens? Marriages are also happen if it is an arranged marriage, then we prefer same caste and all that. Sorry, I'm just kind of giving you just an example, okay? So, so then what I did, I then finally, you know, got it this changed to Parmar, right? So from that onwards, now I mean, people know me now from that name. Now they know from, I mean, my it tells me about, I mean, from where exactly I am, and all that stuff. I mean, different things, right? Because my boss also, he called me one day. He saw this on the Facebook. Oh, you are Parmar. Okay. So this is how you, I mean, from here, which part you are, and all that stuff, right? So all I'm saying is that day one self-referencing is a name, right? This name will never change until you want it to be changed. This will go as long as this file exists in your system. Okay, but if you want to change this, if you want to rename this, then what you have to do, you can't say then save, you will say save as. Okay, especially for the beginners, I'm explaining this point. Then you will say save as, because when you say save as, this pop-up will come again. This pop-up can change. Friends, this pop-up can change. Remember that. Depending upon your Excel version. Don't worry, right? You have to go to the browse. And this is where now I just have to rename this, and the file will be saved with that name, and then this file will always be known with that name. Now it does not mean, pay attention, it does not mean that day one cell referencing will be removed. No, that will always be there until you go and delete it from there. So if I just rename this as day 2, for example, what will happen? Day 2 cell referencing will also be saved, and day 1 is already there, by the way. Okay, so this is how you can, this is the purpose of save as. Okay, and save as, you don't have to go to the file every time. Under file, what you can do, you can use a shortcut key F12. Okay, if you use the F12, let me use, where is F12? See, this is the pop-up coming now. This is again asking you, where do you want to save the file? You can go to the desktop, you can go to the download, you can document, and then change the name. If you want to change the name, if you don't want to change the name, but you want to change the location, remember, day one cell referencing, this is the name, right? Now I say that this file right now is saved in batches Excel 9 p.m. folder. I say no, I want to save this now, download. Yes, you can do that. But there has to be reason, right? Why are you doing it, isn't it? And if I change the name here and I say save, it will be saved again. Okay, so this is about the save as. If you go from here, a window will be different like this. It's not like F12, but again, this is also asking the same thing. Tell me, where do you want to save it? So you have to click on the browse. Okay. This tells you that today, I mean, what folders you have opened. So this is just for help. Like I can quickly go from here. I don't really need to go to the browser. I can just say download because this is telling you the folder, right? And then this is telling you last week, so which folder you have opened, all that stuff. And then there are some older the folders also. It's telling you the data. So basically Excel helps you, because it remembers the mostly the used the locations. Okay, so this is all about workbook and this is all about the things that I'm telling you. So this Excel file that we say, this is also called a workbook, right? So workbook name. Day one cell referencing is a workbook name, or you can say Excel file name. In layman term, and generally, I mean, I shouldn't say layman, but people often say Excel file only. They don't like use this workbook name. But off and on, I mean, you can switch from this the one terminology to another one. Doesn't make any difference. Some people use workbook also. What is a worksheet? Worksheet is that when you open this file, because see right now, if you see, this is what, this is text file, right? This is Excel file, right? You see extension XLSM, but again this is Excel file, isn't it? Though it has a macro. This is a proper Excel. See, here the icon is a bit different, isn't it? This is Excel file. If I open this file, then these are called the sheets that I can create. This is called worksheet, spreadsheet. Okay, you can say plus as many sheets. Someone asked me, sir, how many sheets we can create? Then I said, like, I really don't remember, but I guess last time when I was checking, 256 sheets, I guess, right? But it's basically of no use because you will never use more than 12 or 15 sheets in your Excel. Never. The reason is if you're managing so many tables, 10, 15 tables, right? People generally prefer than switching to the databases. I'm not saying Excel is a bad tool. You can manage in Excel also. But generally in one Excel, we don't keep more than 5 or 6 sheets. But if they are, let's say 10, 15, you can. But the point is that if I have to exchange the data between different sheets, I will prefer something called MS Access or maybe SQL Server. But if you don't know it and if you don't need that because you are in a different field, then fine. In Excel also we can do it, right? But see, these are the sheets and we keep them for the different reasons. Now, why do we need these sheets? Because suppose you have a USA client, you have a Europe client, you have a Africa client, isn't it? So you can always do that. So you can just keep the name here as Africa and you can keep here the Asia data like this. This is how it is, fine. So we can keep the information separate rather than I'm going to create all the data under one Excel spreadsheet. That I will never suggest you. Okay. So we'll keep the data relevant data in these sheets. And then also you see when you create the sheet, they have a name like sheet 1, sheet 2. Don't do that. Let's rename. Double click here or maybe you can right click here. Let's say I'll do this again. Rename. If you rename, you can rename the sheet. The name which is already taken by this sheet, that you can't keep it here. Okay, name has to be unique. Please remember that. Fine. You can use Shift F11 also to insert the sheet. Remember, sheet, not a workbook. If you right now press Shift F11, See, Shift F11, Shift F11. See, I've created so many sheets, right? Now, what if I have to delete these sheets? What if I have to delete these sheets? Well, the first is you can just say right click, delete. See, or you can say first you are on this sheet, you say Alt EL. See, gone, gone, Alt EL. Okay. Now, I don't want to do Alt EL 10 times here. I want to delete all these sheets in one go. Click here, right? Press the Shift key and now click here. This or here. It's up to you. See, okay. Click on the Shift 20, Sheet 20, then press the Shift key, right? And then after the Shift key, click wherever you want. What will happen? All the middle sheets, in between sheets, right? By default, they will also be selected. And now what you have to do? Alt EL, or on any sheet, right click and say delete. This is a shortcut. But there is a warning. If the sheet gets deleted, you cannot undo it. It's gone. Okay, so please remember that. Okay, again, I'm telling you, see this? Shift F11. Okay, now you say that I want to delete this, but not this, and this and this. Now you can't use the Shift key, right? Because see, if I click here, right now I'm here. I press Shift key, I go here. All the sheets are selected. So one is that what you can do, you can click on these sheets using the Shift key. Reverse will happen. Reverse will happen then. They will not be selected, right? But I'll just tell you the basic, because these are the things you have to practice. What you can do, like suppose I don't want to count the 26, right? So what I can do, I can just say click here using the Shift key now. My Shift key is on, right? Now, now, if I again press the Shift key and click here, what will happen? These all will be selected. See that? And this is something I don't want, right? So again, let me click here. What do you do? Press the Shift key and click here. Done. Now, we want to remove this. I mean, we don't want this sheet to delete. But at the same time, we want that these sheets should be selected with sheet 25 and 24, right? So now what I will do, I will use a control key. So with the control key, I can select any sheet that I want. See, my control key is still on. Now I can say Alt L. Okay. So these are the few things with the practice you. So you see in Excel, one thing is very good, that most of the things when you use them, they apply in the same manner on different platforms. Like see what I'm going to do. I click here, I press Shift key. Okay. And now if I click here, what will happen? See, do you see that? This is the shift. And this is the same thing you saw in the sheets also. From here to here, using the shift, everything will be selected. And now I can say delete or whatever. Or I can say, maybe I want to bold it, maybe I want to give some color, isn't it? See, now I'm selecting this, right? I'm not using shift key. What I'm saying, control. My control is still on. Do you see that difference? See that? So this is about control. Okay. So using control key, you can do the random selections. You can do the random selections. Okay. So anyways, so now we have understood what is a worksheet or spreadsheet. So we use the spreadsheets to store the data, and all the sheets are part of your workbook. Worksheets are a part of your workbook. So workbook is a parent and worksheet is a child of that parent. Because if Excel does not exist, sheet cannot be there. Sheet has no existence. Make sense, guys, right? Now let's come back to this, right? Okay. So Rows, columns. Now let's talk about these things also. Okay. Okay. So rows in Excel are always horizontal. If I tell you go to the row number 3, what will you do? Will you go here? Why? Because sir, it's C. So it means it's 3. No, rows are always numbers. These are the alphabets. So you have to, this is your row number 3. If I tell you select the row number 10, what will you do? Yes, very nice. If I say, if I say select the column G, what will you do? G column. Columns are always vertical and they move like this, left to right. How many columns we have? XFT. Let me show you the formula. If you want to check what is the last column number, just type in here column. This is the formula I'm telling you, okay? Just a bonus tip. Column, don't type anything. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis, enter. See, 16,384. It's useless. You can't store this much of data in Excel. Excel will hang. And otherwise also who will, I mean, see data also has to be readable, it's not about just putting the information. I once seen I think the biggest data that I have seen so far is I think not more than 25 columns it had. 25 I guess, 20 or 25, because these are too many columns. Okay, anyways, so this is a column function. I'm just leaving this here for you. Now you say why I'm getting 10, because the formula is written where? In the J column, right? So you can write here, 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 column J will not change, isn't it? So the number of J is basically 10, just for you, okay? If you want to check the row of the cell where I'm right now, which is 5, right? See that. Anyways, so columns move left to right and row moves downward. See, this is how many rows you have? 10,48,576. Again, if you have, let's say for example, these many rows, your data has is occupied these many rows. I mean 10 lakh rows. You will never be able to work on Excel. The moment you start opening the Excel, the moment you will open the Excel, it will take half an hour. I don't know, 15-20 minutes or maybe to open it, because Excel is not designed to deal with such a large data. This is too much as on date. In future, I don't know if they will make this Excel engine, stronger. Then we can't say. But because of these reasons, people then start using the other platforms, tools. Okay. But yes, if you ask me that, so like how much data we can use comfortably? Well, maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, maybe 4 lakhs if you are a coder. See, there are different ways of doing the things. I mean, I have a data, for example, I have 6 lakhs of rows. Now, if I actually know how to work with the data, I'm a very polished guy, I'm an analyst, I've been working on Excel, or I know other things also, then perhaps I can just go and print the data and I can maybe store the entire data somewhere and I can just pick the required data, the useful data. Maybe I can import that in Excel, which obviously will not be like 3 or 4 lakh rows. It may be 50,000 rows, 60,000. There are different ways of doing the things, right? So anyways, so this is all about, guys, rows and columns. See, they also have mentioned it, horizontal 1, 2, 3 and column ABC. Columns are always alphabets. Okay, this is how it is. Remember, cell. What is a cell? Cell is the intersection of row and column. Now, where exactly, if you see where exactly I'm right now, if I ask you, what is my location? You will say you are on G. You will say that you are on G column, right? But on G column, there are so many rows, right? I'm asking you specific address. Then what will you do? You will take the reference of row also, isn't it? This is like your first name and last name. There can be 5 Ajay's in a class. Ajay is a very common name in North India, right? But Ajay Parmar, chances are very, very less that you will have two people with this name, isn't it? I mean, I'm just telling you that this completes the person identity. So same way, first name and the last name, same way, same way. This is not just G or 6. This is called G6. This is called cell address. So cell is always a combination of a column and a row. And you can see the name here also. This is called address bar or name box, whatever you want to call it. Okay. See H2. See now F18, right? And don't take this, underestimate this. This can also be very useful in case if you are switching from one cell to another. For example, I'll just go here and I say, I want to quickly go to the A197. Type here A197, press enter. Isn't it? Interesting, right? Again, I say A1, enter, right? Okay. So this is called a cell address. So in workbook we have worksheet, and in worksheets we have rows and columns and cells. Cells are nothing. It's a combination of intersection of row and column. Row and column. Wherever they are intersecting. Like this is, right? If you see this cell, this is where a row number 21 and column G is intersecting. So all cells are basically referred by this, right? So these are all the cells. We can use this. Basically, we store the data actually in the cells. So we store the information data in sheets, but in the sheets we have cells, right? This is how it is. This is like, you live in a city, but in that city, which sector? This is also important, right? You can't reach to me if you know that I'm putting up in Gurgaon. You can't reach to me, isn't it? If you have to meet me, you need to know my address, you need to know my city, right? So once you enter into the city, then you further enter, then you further reach to my address, right? Without knowing the city, you can't. So this is how it is. Okay. So I hope these are the basic things, and you should know, you must be aware about these things, right? Basic. Okay. All right. Practice tasks. This is all, I mean, you can do. I'll just open the Excel. Very simple things. Let me zoom this in. Yeah. See, open the Excel. How can you open the Excel? I told you, if you are creating a new Excel, Control N from here. Not like this. You are here and say Control N is not working, Ajay sir. No, you have to be on first Excel. Then you say Control N, or maybe go to the file or say new Excel. It's up to you. Okay. Because if you are here, then you have to open the Excel from Windows only, or maybe double click here. Or if you have to create a new Excel, just go here, right click here and say new. This is a window, right? This one. Make sense? Right? It's a very basic thing. Now, this is all about creating. How to open the Excel? Well, how to open the Excel? Suppose this is a day one. I want to open a new file. What I can do? I can say file. From this Excel also I can open, isn't it? Open. Now, which file you want to open? Go to the browse and open the file. Whatever file you will choose, that file will open here. It does not mean that it will close this current file. No, it will open a new file. Or you can use Control O. See, Control O. Okay, shortcut key. This is also you can use from the current Excel. Type, well, I told you about the type, right? You know the type. Type is always mentioned there. Name in column A, age in column B. Oh, so name in column A, age in column B. I mean, I guess it's just telling you that type in here something, name, header, and then age, header, all that stuff. Then identify the row number, column, letter, cell address. Well, this is all for you. Okay. Okay. So Yeah, so let's go to the lesson 2 now. Okay, now let's do some practical work here. So data entry and the basic formatting. Okay, generally okay, so let me just, yeah. So data entering, let's quickly see what it says. Entering the data, click on the cell, type the data, press enter, press tab, text, number, date. So you see, I enter some data, I press enter, I go down, right? If you say right arrow key, you'll go to the right. If you say left arrow, left, up, down. These are all those four arrows, right? You can use also tab. See, tab, tab, tab. Okay, we can use the tab also. Moves right. It is telling you, right? Now, what is the data type of this? Data type means what type of a data it has. This value. This is called text, right? This is the text data. What about this? This is also text. This is not a number because it contains ABC. What about this? Yes, this is a number. What about this? This is a date. How I have inserted it? Okay, so if you say control colon, this is for you. Control colon, today date will be inserted. See? And this will not change tomorrow because there is no formula here. See that? This is called fx, formula bar. Right? So tomorrow, again, if you use the control colon on any cell, you will see 8th of January. Okay? So this is all about this. Simple. So you have these three data types generally: number, text, and date. Very easy. Fine. Well, editing the cell data. How I can edit the data? Well, double click. See, I've written something. INC this is. Okay. Now, if I say double click, see, I'm in the edit mode. The cursor starts blinking. Are you getting the point? So this is how you edit the cell. Double click. Or the other way is very simple. You can click go here also in the formula bar and you can edit it. It's up to you. But if you double click, see, now you are in the edit mode and you can do whatever you want. Okay. Or you can see it's telling you or edit in the formula bar here. Directly go here also and you can edit it. Or press F2. F2 is a shortcut key to edit the cell. Okay. F2. Let me write these shortcuts in one place. See, let me press F2. So you can use F2 also. Different ways of editing the cell. Okay. Okay. Autofill. Excel can continue the pattern like this. Yeah, this is a nice, interesting. So suppose I've written here some number. Okay. Now what I want is I want to create a series. I want to fill. So see this. Do you see this icon right now? Small plus sign, right? This never comes on your screen. Otherwise, see this. This is a thick plus sign right now. If you go to the corner of the cell like this, or maybe here, you see that? No, it's not coming. It's a different. See, right? Why it is coming here? Because from here you can drag. See, here also it is not coming. Do you see that? This plus and this plus. This is a plus, proper plus, this plus, the addition one, right? Basically, you have to go here. Once this sign is coming, just drag this. And then now release the mouse. Once you release the mouse, this button will come automatically in your Excel. Don't click anywhere else. Otherwise, this button will go away. So just go and click here and say fill series. And the series will be created. Not only this, if let's say you have 100 and you say, no, I actually want a difference of 5. No problem. Just tell the Excel, Give the Excel this a sample, at least two values. Now please go here. Again, see this plus sign very small, drag this. Do you see that? This is very nice, right? So this is how the Excel creates the things. And also, if you are creating a Jan, Feb, March, you know, need not to type, just drag this like this. Okay, fine. If you have Monday, see this. Make sense? Okay. Now please don't expect that. Suppose if you type here January, okay, drag this. It's coming, right? Now there's no abbreviation. But for example, you said Jan, there's a typo error, right? Now let's drag this. Do you see that? Are you noticing the difference? Now you'll not see the number. And please now don't say that, sir, click here. Fill series happens with numbers, not with text. You can't add the numbers, right? The text values. So if you click here, you will not find fill series. So don't come back to me and say that my fill series was not coming. It's a text. It's not a number. Fill series is for numbers because there it checks the trend and returns the value to you. Now here, what happened? Basically in Excel, what happens? Excel has stored these months somewhere in the background that I'll show you one day. So whenever you drag these, Excel helps you because Excel know these are the weekdays or months. But if you're trying to write the Jan in this way and you're expecting that now Excel will recognize this, of course not. For this, this is not a month because for Excel this is a some normal text value like some hello type. Okay, so sometimes if you have to create these things, you can do that. So if you write 1 2 and drag 3 4 5 will come. Jan if you drag Feb March will come. Dates again in the dates also control colon. Now let me drag this. See that, right? 8th of January, 9th of January, 10th of January, right? Now according to your Excel date settings, this can be a different format like MMDDD. For me, this is DTMM. If you want to change the format, you can do that. For that, you have to go to the control panel. Take the help of ChatGPT. Okay. I mean, not from the learning perspective, I'm saying. No, of course not. I'm just telling you in case if you want to change the format, like this is our Indian style, but in USA we write it, I guess we write their first month. I'm not sure, but definitely it is not DDMM, right? I think they write like this. Fine. So, I mean, suppose if you have an American client and you always work with that USA data, isn't it? So you can change the date settings also in the Excel. Okay, you can, I mean, change the format. Okay, so basic formatting. Well, these are the things that I generally don't cover. I mean, like initially, but with your batch, I'm covering. Okay, so these are the again few shortcut keys. Suppose, see, Control B, right? Bold. Control I, italic. Do you see? It's italic now, right? It's not a regular, I mean, uh, it's tilted, right? Italic, we call it that italic. If you want to change the font size, click here, go to the font size. Where is the font? Under the home tab. Yes, this is the font size. See that? You can change. See, I want to keep the font size as 22. Okay. Now, font color. This is a font color. This is a background color. If you hover, you see background color. Background color, see, this is the background of the cell. Now I say I want this to see that font color, the text, the value color basically. Okay. So font color, font size. Size is for the sizing and color obviously is for the color. But I have given you the background color also. They have not written this. Okay. So yellow is a background color. Then alignments, guys. Alignments like I have this number. Suppose I have written here let's say H. Okay. Under the home tab, see, this is my alignment. Middle, right, and left. Make sense? What about this? These are the, like, if you see right now, this is in the middle, but this is not in the center. If I use this, see, H is shifted up. Now it is exactly in the center of this. This is basically a center. And then further, you can take this further up and, like this. Okay, so these options are like this. Generally, we don't use these options. We use these alignments only. Okay, and then wrap text and merge center. If I suppose if I'm writing something, let's say uh, country wise, right? Now see, I'm writing country wise and it's not fitting into this text. So what I can do, either I can double click here, I can increase the size, or maybe what I can do, you can just select these two cells using the shift key and you can say that I want to merge them. So two cells now are merged. If you see here, you'll see only I-57. If you don't want to do that, you can undo it, Control Z, or maybe just re-click and you see now these are separate. Okay, so sometimes we want to basically we have a long text and we don't want to change the this. We don't want to use the auto width, so this is what we can do, right? Like suppose in country wise, so you may ask me, so like any example why specifically I want to use this. Well, in countries, suppose you want to create index and you want to create let's say so economy and let's say population, isn't it? Right? So this is how it is. So you can write something here, and then you can write population here. So this way, I mean. So it's a nice way of presenting the things, right? Right? Now suppose again you say that okay, I want to merge this, right? And then you say that city-wise. See, again then you can say that in the city also, let's say I want to say that let's say latitude and then longitude. Are you getting the point? Right? So from this perspective, right? This is how I mean we can plan the things, right? So for this reason also, it's not about auto fit the width of the cell. It's about like you have one main header and under that header you want to show the things like this. Otherwise, if you just type in like this, what will happen? See, country wise. Now, either I'll put the economy here, population here, right? But this is very different from this. This is not giving that soothing effect, isn't it? For your viewers, right? It doesn't look that presentable. So what I did, if I cut this and put it here, then also there's a problem, right? So from that perspective also, we can use the merge and center. This is not a wrap text, this is a merge and center. Merge and center means merge the two cells. Now what is a wrap text? Wrap text is very different. See, I'm typing something. This is the data of final top performers. Okay, see, I have written so much. Obviously, this has taken the space, right? Now, what I do, I don't want to merge. I don't want to merge all these cells. What I do, I simply go here. I say wrap text. Do you see that? Right? Previously, also, this you have written here, or this all is written in the O62 only. Though it looks like it's a part of, it's taking using the other cells also. Remember, no, it is not. Because if you see, if you just go here, what do you see here? This blank, blank. There's nothing here. It is only when you select this, you find that in the formula bar, I mean, what is the value? If it is a formula or not, or if it is a constant, right? So this looks like this is going spreading across P, Q, R. No, it is not because you have written the entire value in O62 only, right? So when you say wrap, what happens? It just puts the entire content in the readable form. Not readable, basically, I should say that basically it wherever the cell is, it's cutting, it's the data is uh, seems like it's moving from one cell to another. It's basically press the enter and starts, you know, showing the data in the next line. And in fact, if you just increase the height and the width like this, or maybe in the middle, I mean, these are all the different. I have already told you the alignments, right? So these are the very simple things, okay? So that's it now. Number formatting is something uh, we'll do next time. Okay. So today I've kept the session very basic, and but yes, you can see that with the help of the ChatGPT, you will get to know everything. Okay. So we will now, next time when we will meet on Wednesday, we will actually quickly start with the formulas and I mean the practical things. Okay. So this is just a basic, uh, the idea, the basic things that you should know about the Excel. Fine. So, and then we'll take a full 1.5 hour session next Wednesday. Okay, 10 till 10, 10:30. Thank you then. Thank you.